Shalom, everybody. We are here with our dear friends and partners, with Goldi, Steiner and Irving Weisdorf, the heads and leaders of Canadians for Israel Legal Rights. Shalom, Goldi, and Shalom, Irving.
Shalom,
to
Matan.
you as well. Shalom, everyone.
First of all, I really want to start with thank you. It was an incredible day of marking 100 years for the San Remo Conference. We did it together, and so many speakers came and talked for Israel and for all the things that we are doing also together. But with you, I have the privilege to start with personal questions. Please tell us, and also the audience of Tirtzu. First of all, let's start with your organization, a little bit about your organization, and also about the partnership, about the journey that we are doing together for educating and providing knowledge to the Israelis about the history of Israel and the justification of why we have the legal rights, the rights for the land of Israel. So I think ladies first. Goldi, you start.
Well, let me start by saying in 2009, Solomon Ben Zimra and myself, we founded Canadians for Israel's Legal Rights. The intention was naturally to educate as many people as possible, but with focus on youth and focus on Israeli youth, who are the future, basically, of the future leaders, the future electorate. And this is where we came to partner with you when you're carrying out our mission in Israel. At the same time, what we're doing here in Canada, we are addressing adult groups, and we're trying to make as much headway into and breaking into the schools to educate them about the legal rights, for which Solomon has written. There is a book that I will talk to you about later, but this is our game. And I also want to mention that we are partners, or not actually partners, we are a project of Canadians Anti-Semitism Education Forum, and together we're also fighting, we are dedicated to fighting anti-Semitism. Irving, you might want to say a little more.
Well, I think what we see in the diaspora is that the BDS movement and the Arab propaganda about legal rights in the land of Israel, they have taken the initiative, and they have confused both the Jewish and the non-Jewish community. What we have done at Canadian Anti-Semitism Education Foundation is worked hard against anti-Semitism until we find that anti-Semitism is now manifested as anti-Zionism. And that's because Israel is the protector of the Jewish people. And unless we make it clear that the Jewish people have rights to the land of Israel, legal international rights, which San Remo, in fact, gave them, unless we make that clear, even Jews among us are confused about the situation. So education of our communities, both in the diaspora and in Israel, are very, very important.
May I say one more? I just want to add one more word, that the importance of recognizing Israel's indigeneity to the land of Israel.
Yes, I agree with you. You know that a lot of people that are, for example, religious, they are saying, look, we got the land from God. Abraham got the land from God. So why it is important to know and to believe also in the law of people, right? And a lot of people say, so this is not ignorance, it's just because we don't care. And I'm saying a lot, and I'm sure that you are also sharing the same thought, that it is exactly the opposite. Also, even Abraham, that got the land of Israel from God, when he went to Hebron, he bought the cave with money, meaning that it was important also to Abraham, the law of man, the international law. So I think even now, the importance that we give to this conversation, to this knowledge, to know these justifications, it is very important, but it was always important for us, the Jews, for us, the Israelites, for us, the Hebrews. So, and here, but I want to challenge you, because, and please share with us this thought, like why it is so important for you. I can understand why it is so important for you that the community in the diaspora, the community in Canada, for example, will know those things because they maybe can disappear in their support to Israel. But for you, it is important that the Israelis, the Tzabras, the people here, and I see this fire in your eyes. It is very important for you. So tell us more about it. Why?
I'm not sure I get you what you're aiming at, what you're asking, Matan.
Always.
Do you understand?
You want me to ask again?
Well, are you asking why the legal rights or why our rights are important?
I want to ask you why do you invest so much energy and so much effort in providing this knowledge to the Israelis? Not talking because our joint effort is talking with Israelis in Hebrew. Why it is so important for you?
Maybe I could step in there, Matan.
Okay.
What we found to our surprise is that the Israelis are not being educated about the legal rights either. And we think that the message from Israel is critical for the diaspora as well. And so we want to share this knowledge with Israeli youth who will feel that, yes, they have a right to be there. We see too much activity such as Mahsom Watch, or If Not Now, or all these Jewish kids who have been misguided, who have failed to receive an education, and this is what we need to change. Israel is the center of the Jewish world, and if the truth doesn't come out of Israel for all to hear, then we don't believe it's correct. We don't believe it's true. So it's critical that the word come from Israel. So we want to make sure that as many people as possible are educated in this, and that the government of Israel speaks out, because that has been one of the greatest challenges, to get the government of Israel to speak out about our rights to the land, all the land west of Jordan. As we now know that San Remo gave us rights to all the land west of Jordan. In fact, San Remo gave us rights to land east of Jordan, which was then the area was the first two-state solution happened in 1921-22 when part of the mandate was hived off and given to the Bedouin king and the Arab Palestinians. So that's really important to know.
I cannot agree with you more.
If I may add, I mean, you're asking why it's so important. I have been many times to Israel and spoken to even kids in the IDF, and they had no idea that we have the rights for the river to the land, which was given to us. And all they hear is that the Palestinians have rights and their claims, and I don't have to tell you all the lies. There are the claims that are against us owning the land instead of sharing the land with the Palestinians. So we have to stress the fact that from the river to the land, it belongs to the Jewish people.
Yes, I agree with you very much. And I think also on the next issue that I wanted to talk with you, it's well connected, because ignorance also, it's not the way, it's even invites sometimes hostility, anti-Semitism. So I think maybe if the Jewish people will have stronger belief and stronger knowledge about their rights in Israel, they will be much more strong when they are confronting those issues, of anti-Semitism and hostiles against the Jews. What do you think about that? About the challenge of anti-Semitism and ignorance?
Well, I think education is power, and it's the only way with which we can withstand the anti-Semitism and the hatred against us, which are based on lies, pure lies.
Mm-hmm. Ervin, what do you think?
Well, I would add that the anti-Semitism has more than one source. Of course, one of the sources is in the Christian and Islamic scriptures, but the other source is that Israel is being portrayed as a thief. A thief of Arab lands, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. In the same San Remo resolutions, Jordan and Syria and Iraq were essentially created. A small part of land was given to the Jews because they were recognized not by the Jews so much as by the Christian Zionists like Balfour. They were recognized as being indigenous to the land of Israel. They recognized that Palestine was a Roman name given to Judea. And this is really critical. And until that is made, that knowledge is spread throughout the world, really, but particularly in the Jewish community, then we can't fight anti-Semitism if we feel like we have stolen something. And we haven't stolen anything.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And I think this is the main issue. We cannot take Israel for granted. I think also the educational system in Israel see Israel for granted, and by that they are just teaching other stuff. And then, as you said it also, Goldi, there are IDF soldiers, people who defend our borders and our bodies, really defend Israel, but sometimes they love Israel. It comes from the heart. It's intuitively, but they don't know enough knowledge because no one educated them about it. And I think it's amazing that people in Israel, and we see it in our conferences, and we see it, and we are talking with students. They have they are so hungry for knowledge because they didn't get it, and it is so important because like this, the society in Israel will be stronger, and our soldiers will be much stronger and in defending Israel because it will come from from the heart and from the mind. And I think it's in a way it's absurd that regular people took responsibility on themselves to educate a society like you are doing, like we are doing in Tirtzu. But from the other side, I'm telling myself, look, no one told Moses to take the Israelites out of Egypt. It came from his heart first, and then he flew to the desert and met God and all the story. But people take responsibility. I think this is maybe the story of us. So one more thing that I want to ask you, it's about the future. We are seeing, even in the Corona time, that every state is under a challenge. Every state is under a quiz test. And also, so we are seeing what is going on in Canada, in the United States, in Israel. Things I'm sure will change also in the European Union, that is also under a very big challenge. What do you think? Are you optimistic about the future of Israel in front of the challenges that are coming? Or you're more pessimistic, you're more concerned? Because I'm trying to understand, again, the fire, the motivation. Take it from here.
If I may, I would like to roll back a minute to your first question. Canadians for Israel's Legal Rights was founded with the aim of getting the Israeli government to incorporate this subject into the official curriculum. Unfortunately, we have not succeeded yet, but that is basically the aim, to incorporate this material in the official curriculum. Help us get that done.
100%. Yeah, that's a very important mission.
Okay. And then your next question was, I'm not sure, I think I'll let Irving deal with that.
You try.
I lost my train of thought, I'm afraid.
I will ask it again, but shortly. Are you optimistic or you pessimistic in the challenge that are coming towards Israel?
Well, we're optimistic, but we see it as a huge challenge. And unless we rise to the challenge, things will not go well. It's very critical that the Israeli government take the lead. We have a hope in our heart that we will see the Israeli government make the annual anniversary of the San Remo Conference to be a national holiday, so that everybody will start to ask, what is San Remo? Because even though this conference was beautifully planned and executed, it is only reaching a fraction of the people. We need everyone in Israel and everyone in the Jewish diaspora to know what San Remo was about, that it acknowledged Jewish indigeneity. It acknowledged it on behalf of all the nations in the world. And once that is happening, and if we can get Netanyahu and Gantz to work together and take this seriously, because it's very serious, then we can be optimistic. We'll get over the coronavirus. We have to get over our poor education, our ignorance about the history, and use everything in our might to protect Israel and the Jewish people.
One of the things that I like and appreciate in your organization and our organization and the cooperation is that we are not only a think tank. We are not only talking about ideas. We see the ideas as missions that we want to do. This is like action items. And what we talked about knowledge, and we talked about IDF soldiers, I think it's also very well connected to talking about Knesset members and ministers and even prime ministers to know about San Remo and to know not only about the story, but that it will be alive in their body. So I think here, one of the great missions that we are going to accomplish together after this day is now when the government is active, we will of course do a caucus in the Knesset to promote our ideas and to promote it's not only the San Remo knowledge, it's the San Remo approach. So I think in God's will, when we will do it also in the Knesset as a caucus, I'm sure that we will succeed in our missions much more. And also after the corona, we will going to do another conference, one now physical, when everybody can really come. So I hope that the corona will disappear soon, and we can meet here in Israel and to do the next conference. I hope in the Knesset or in Jerusalem for sure. So we will have a huge conference about the San Remo idea and about the San Remo approach very soon in Jerusalem. That will also establish the caucus in the Knesset to promote those ideas, to promote this approach. And I think it is very important, as you said, to the Jewish people in Israel, to the Jewish people around the world. It's the best cure against anti-Semitism, because we will believe more in our cause, in our knowledge, and it will for sure will make us stronger in front of our challenges. We are almost in the end of the interview, so I will be happy if every one of you will say like a small, like a short, give us your message to the audience who know a little bit less about your organization, but also watch from our people in Tirtzu. I would be very happy.
If you allow me, I have a statement prepared that I would like to read, okay?
Excellent.
About today's celebration. We are commemorating the San Remo Conference, which took place in San Remo in 1920 and gave Israel in San Remo the San Remo Resolution, which is an international legally binding document legalizing the Balfour Declaration, which led to the mandate for Palestine adopted by 51 member nations of the League of Nations. 100 years ago, the Supreme Council of the Principal Allied Powers had granted Israel her Magna Carta. And today, 100 years later, in the spirit of its 100th anniversary, we call on the government of Israel to declare April 25th each year the San Remo national holiday. Mr. Prime Minister, time is overdue to make this declaration the San Remo national holiday. We ask you to make this your legacy. The Jewish people and history will remember you. And may we also wish you a mazel tov and further success in leading our country to ever greater heights. Hazak ve'ematz. Am Yisrael Chai.
Chai v'kayam. Irving, now it's your turn. It's very hard to.
Well, I can't do better than that. So I'm just going to thank Tirtzu for their wonderful work. It's been a pleasure working with you, and together let's go forward and make this happen. Thank you very much.
Do I have another moment, just one moment, to pay homage to Howard Grief, who dedicated his life to pioneering and to bring the legal rights to the attention of the entire world, and a tribute to Solomon Ben Zimra, who also dedicated his life and created the book which I have right here with me, The Jewish People's Rights to the Land of Israel, which is the best tool with which to fight our fight. And thank you very much, and give our best to Eitan, who is the best liaison that's ever been created in this world. He's wonderful, and we're delighted to work with him.
Thank you so much. I really salute you, and we all thank you so much for the partnership and for your fire, and you really give us a lot of inspiration. Thank you. תודה רבה. חזק ואמץ.